Our first category is painting, and here's a nice little acrylic painting called Yellow with two organic shapes. Bird has a super nice and bright, good color scheme with some very good textural brushwork. Beyond is a little watercolor with some excellent blending in the background and some really tight, nice shadowed forms in front. One Summer Night is a great acrylic painting that works very well. The sunset is handled beautifully and the texture of the sand is great. Window or Bridge is a nice example of an acrylic painting that was done with a palette knife, so the texture is so good. Montana Winter, a nice little monochromatic watercolor painting with some good wet into wet blending. Our last piece is Faces, an acrylic painting with a good color scheme and some really nice detail. We're starting now with the sculptures, and our first sculpture is made of bent toothpicks. It's a two-piece sculpture mounted on a base, and it has a great weight dynamic. This is a piece called Untitled, but it's a found object piece of assemblage that has been painted with an interesting topic. This little sculpture is a 3D, beautiful study in fabric, drapery, and with its haunting subject, it really makes an interesting piece along with its metal patina on the outside. The bee is a fun little whimsical hanging piece of paper mache, ribbons and lace, and of course those cute little bees. Here's a really beautiful example of wood turning on a lathe, and there's a beautiful finish to the wood as well, allowing the grain to show. Okay, now why did it do that before? This is our only ceramic piece. It's very organic, a little flower bank, and well handled, very fresh. Gone Too Soon is our first mixed media piece of graphite with a watercolor background, and it's kind of a poignant one this year with COVID-19. Here's a great collage piece called Fragmented with a paper figure that's been fragmented and laminated on the top of abstracted acrylic. Number One Boss is a fun collage of newspapers, and some of them have been painted. And take a look at the figure and how she has it posed in the cup. Here's a beautiful collage piece called City Night Stars. It's incorporating several different sizes and shapes of beads, some glass tiles, metal tiles, and it's great. Got a great luminous look to it on a dark background. Steampunk is another of the mixed media pieces, watercolor and Sharpie, with some great attention to detail, a lot of fun splattering, and just an entertaining little piece. Native Glory is a beautiful example of beadwork that is far beyond the capabilities of a lot of high school students. Also, a great color scheme and wonderful design. Wilderness is a printmaking on t-shirt. It's got nice clean colors, some good lines, and great registration. Beautiful print. Not Enough Hands is our first drawing, and it's a nice example of an animated figure. Metamorphosis is a good example of a graphic design with pencil and what you can achieve with some movement and detail. No, There's No Place Like Home is a beautifully blended example of a colored pencil drawing. with two sides to it and also on ledger paper. Our first photograph is called Reflections, and with the beautiful antique mirror and the snow in the background, it really gives us the feeling of a fairy tale. This little study called Simplicity is a photograph of a scale of lightest light to darkest dark as the Skittles are lined up. It also has some beautiful cast shadows to it. Shadows is a study on how to use a cast shadow in a photograph and how powerful that image can be, even without the subject matter. Out of the Mist is an unusual photograph that gives us a feeling of mystery. We're not quite sure the techniques used to achieve it, and so it also excites our curiosity. In the Kitchen is a wonderful study in textures. The shiny, smooth spoons, the fuzzy kiwis, all on a really rough wood background with a lot of grain. New Dawn is our first graphic design piece, and it's very well done. Rich colors against a dark background with a whimsical, nostalgic feel to it. Our last piece is 1 year later. It's a graphic design, and with all the figures fighting for your attention, every time you look at this photograph, you're going to see a brand new thing.